What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Training Brains. I'm your host, Evan Rife, with my co-host here,
Angelo and Evan.
live in person. And today we're going to do an episode about our short to midterm goals. And as you can see, we're here together in New York for the first time in a long time. It's been about a year and a half-ish, maybe. I mean, the last time I was in New York was 2019, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Angelo was...
Put that in perspective.
Yeah. And it was like, well, that was right before the pandemic.
Yeah, that was right before the pandemic. You just came for a week. And then now, a month long. Married.
Was it really only a week?
I think it's a week or two.
Yeah. Congratulations to Angelo. He's married now. That's why I'm here in New York to participate in his wedding as a groomsman. And it was a wonderful time, wonderful ceremony. Angelo is now happily shackled to his now wife.
Shackled.
Yes.
Yeah, she got so mad at me my first night being married because she's like, "Don't yak." Okay, no problem. Yacked.
What is yak?
Throwing up.
Oh. I didn't even know you yacked actually. Was that towards the end? Like
At night.
Party?
Yeah, like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, yeah. I was gone.
You were past that.
I mean, there's actually a picture
Right.
of me passed out on the bed at like 1:30 to 2 o'clock at night or whatever. And honestly, that was a good time because I felt like the after party, the bar was a little expensive. So
Well,
for
no,
me, it was, like,
the after
a good
party.
time.
The after party was actually the only thing with that was, it was only expensive because the bar tab didn't start until 2 a.m. and they couldn't start it before.
Oh.
We got there early.
Oh, we got there too early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I told people like, hey, don't try to buy, don't buy until 2. And I think the gap was way too long.
Right. Otherwise, people will kind of slow down and then get tired.
Yeah. But whatever.
Well, regardless, wonderful ceremony, and I'm really happy to be here with my buddy Angelo. We've known each other for so many years, and that's why we're here, doing the podcast together and all kinds of things. We game together all the time. Obviously, you guys know, since we talk about it a lot on the podcast. But getting back to the subject, short to long-term goals, summer goals.
Summer goals,
Yeah.
definitely. Going off, like, I feel like getting married now, getting to know the significant others, that's always like the goal is. But like, let's just say more materialistic, more in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Try and build my PC. Got my 2 monitors set up over here. My little office / actually gonna be her makeup room. So,
I mean, it's looking good.
well,
Some people don't have
yeah.
an office / makeup room, so you gotta be grateful for what's there.
Now we have a makeup part that we can make up and put some cover up and blush for it to look good. right to the left of us. So then I feel like trying to set up the Twitch for myself, and now I'm like trying to get into more little gaming, not competitively, but like streaming, producing more content. I feel like. I feel like with that, like trying to set up games like FIFA 21. Sometimes I play NHL, but Call of Duty, I feel like that's going downhill for me per se. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna ask what kind of games you want to play, because content-wise, like, look, people gravitate towards personalities and like personal brands nowadays. You don't even have to be super funny. You just have to be really authentic and nice and just like consistently be on, right? Because people just want something that's
To
in the
watch.
background. Maybe they won't even watch it. So a lot of times they will, of course, interact in the chat and like say hello, hey, how you doing, something like that. And it's like TV, for them. So as long as you're consistent and you stream a couple times a week or a couple times a month, whatever your schedule is.
1 hour,
then-
2 hours a day. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
but I think the
yeah,
main games I feel like I'm gonna do is like FIFA, Destiny, and as well as like probably
NBA.
Football Manager, and well as like other stuff. I really feel like those 3 games kind of hit me as a person in the sense of like types of games that I like to play, and I kind of feel actually out how I like to play certain stuff, and actually I can talk as I'm doing those games because I feel like you're not fully invested. I feel like Call of Duty, there's like some downtime, you get the lobbies and whatever.
Are you talking about Warzone specifically,
Yeah.
or all
Warzone.
like
Warzone
Call of Duty
specifically,
multiplayer?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Warzone, yeah.
Because I don't even play the other games. I did the campaign, but after that, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I feel like Warzone is fun, but I feel like now it's like way too not meta, but it's like it's hard to break out. Now it's they're really really good people or they have aimbots, which just help them to shoot better, and it's just like okay, what do you do?
Yeah, not even better. It's just like the robot aims for you, and you're not even playing really. You're just kind of like
pressing the button.
yeah, and then what you do is just like write in the chat, haha, get good.
Yeah, GG or get good.
Yeah,
GG or get good.
yeah.
But those are like those short, like less than the 6 months goals. I feel like after that, I feel like midterm goals, trying to be like financially wealth stability. Yeah, everyone talk about trying to be retired at the age of 30, 28.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, but like
It
you
is
have
possible.
to make a lot of sacrifices,
Yes.
and you have to really plan how to get to that point. And it's not the lifestyle for everyone. You know, the fire community. Why I entirely respect them. You know, for their dedication towards this idea of retiring at that age. In reality, most people who actually are able to retire at that age don't even stop working, because then they just start working on something that is interesting to them, or is a project for them,
Yeah,
rather than like
starts
okay,
doing a
just
hobby.
doing it to pay the bills.
Mhm.
Right.
Because like after that, you work to a point that now you're trying to grow enough income or passive income. A lot of people have been using that term. Is now having that passive income that you don't even have to work. It just now just constantly make that money for you, and that pays your bills, and then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, no matter what, there's always going to be some level of work, but of course, yeah, things that bring passive income would be like royalties, or real estate can be like that. Obviously, equities. A lot of people like to buy stocks and stuff like that. For me, my short-term goals are to get back in shape. I don't know that I was ever in shape, but I feel like I was before COVID hit.
Okay.
And then COVID hit, and I couldn't go to the gym anymore. And then I started going back to the gym 3 months ago-ish. And then since I came to New York, like I haven't had time really. I've just been. I've honestly like.
twice.
Well, I've been
we
more
have been busy.
concerned. I've been more concerned. Yeah, we've been busy. We've been so much more concerned with seeing everybody, my friends and my family, and enjoying the time together rather than, go to the gym and working out. And it doesn't make sense for me to get like a month-long membership or to become a gym member and then
Especially if
quit
you're
the next
leaving
month.
soon.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm leaving. I'm leaving like next week. So I'm sorry. No. This week.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Like
I
Wednesday.
want it to be next week. That's
Wednesday you're leaving.
Yeah. I'm leaving Wednesday.
Yeah.
So.
But like that, like hey, how a month, right, for a short-term goal? How a month went so quick. Like you came here, you had a goal getting vaccinated. Now you're vaccinated.
Yeah, I am vaccinated. I made 2 credit cards, which was a huge goal of mine because for those of you who are from America and if you decide to move to a foreign country, make sure you make a credit card before you leave the U.S. and just keep it safe. Obviously, if there's any fraudulent charges or whatever, dispute it, but make sure you make one because having no credit, which is what my situation is not good. You'll have like in the low to mid 600s in terms of your credit score, and there are actually ways to build that up, like Self. This is a credit builder loan program that can like basically what it says, build up your credit. And I just made a few secured cards. So a secured card is where you put in a deposit of whatever amount you want, and then you can borrow against that amount as the credit loan. And if you pay off that credit well, or you don't go over the balance and whatnot, I think sometimes they'll make it unsecured, so they'll return your deposit to you, and then you just have a regular unsecured credit card.
Yeah, and that's how you start building a little bit more credit, especially when you have non-existent credit. That's also like it's a good goal to have because now you already completed those, so now you just have to make a payment.
Yeah.
Every month or whatever, and then just put one small bill on it, whatever.
Exactly.
$9 and then a Spotify account, and then pay that off.
Yeah, I gotta figure out actually what specifically
Crunchyroll.
I want to pay for. I was thinking Crunchyroll or Disney Plus because I don't have either of those, but we'll see. I already bought something on one of my credit cards, so I just have to make sure I set it up with auto pay and pay it off. Of course. Other short-term goals for me. You guys know I started a blog, and this was like a couple months ago, and I was working on it for a few weeks before coming here, and I was actually writing a little bit while I was here, but I want to actually pay for WordPress to create kind of a different domain from the current one I have. So Life of Grife is going to be more like my personal blog, where I'm just going to write about random things about my life. But then I am actually going to start a new one that's pretty much like affiliated, called Far From Zero, and that's going to be a finance related or finance specific blog, and that's going to be the whole concept, right? Far from zero is like how far from the dollar amount zero can we get ourselves, right? Like how high can we reach in terms of our wealth? Yeah. So.
And what kind you're gonna be doing, like stocks, bonds?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about everything. So what kind of instrument a bond is, why would you want to own a bond, and the same for stocks, and then talk about credit cards. I'll probably write about like this year's lineup of credit cards, like if you want miles or travel rewards, which one is the one that you want to go for this year, or if you want cash back, which is the one you want to go for, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. And also my first, so I'm actually pretty much done. I wrote a whole draft of my first article that I want to write, which is about preparing for retirement, like what you should do to prepare for retirement. But the draft is written in the Life of Grave, and I haven't actually moved it over to the new domain of Far From Zero. So I want to set up the Far From Zero blog first, and then that'll be the first one that goes up, and everybody can read that there. So
Okay. Trying to think.
Once it's ready, I'll link it in the podcast description and all that.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, trying to connect other stuff. When I get my Twitch account, likewise, and as well as like, and I think another goal, like not next month, 2 weeks from now, we're going from Maryland to play in a foot golf tournament. And anyone who doesn't know, foot golf is soccer and golf. Like you hit a soccer ball on a golf course with the same rules as golf.
No.
Yeah. Just in case if you have any new listeners, God. Come on. Because every time I talk about it, still, it's like, it's like, soccer golf. Like, well, no, like, yes, but more, like, the more.
Well, they say soccer golf because they're American, right? I mean, like, in the rest of the world, it's football or
football. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm just like, okay. So we're going to Maryland, me and 3 guys, I think. Yeah, so we're going down to Maryland to play that. And I think he's just trying to place high, like top. If I get top 15, that'd be great. If not, whatever. 20. I think top 20 would be nice. Good, because I've been playing, but ever since getting married, like playing it like the last month or so, I could have been playing. So
yeah, that makes total sense, man. I mean, I was here and I was trying to get us to hang out, and like it was just because I was working too, and you're already working, full time, and then on top of that, you're preparing for this wedding. So even us getting together here today was a stretch. We actually weren't sure that we were going to be able to do the podcast episode for you guys. Yeah. So I'm really glad that we were able to do it.
Thank God, because I know even from our last episode, it took about a month or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So yeah,
but we were both busy, visiting friends and family, at least, for both of us.
Planning a wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to get a little bit better, and then also, like for Train Brains, is like our goal is trying to make this grow not as fast as we can, but as much organically, and more in the sense like there's no rush, there's no goal of it's just being better, talking about content, doing a little bit more. Marketing, I think, right?
Yeah, well, also being authentic with ourselves. Like, honestly, when Angelo and I sit down to think about a topic for the podcast, a lot of times we don't want to force it. We'll come up with a few subjects, and then if we're both really not feeling like, okay, this is something we can talk about for 30, 40, 50 minutes, then we'll scrap it, and we'll just wait until something kind of clicks for us, right? And we have something to talk about. And a lot of times I rely on him, because he's good at coming up with, like, topics on the fly. I'm always the one who's just like, let me list out like 8, and then I'll bring them to Angelo.
Plan it.
Yeah, exactly. Plan it. That's how I am, and you know this.
Oh yeah, no, of course. And I feel like with the whole, it's like I feel like a double-edged sword. Like you get the pros and the cons of both. It's like you plan it, but then if something goes bad and like something, okay, let's just say we talk about a show and I didn't watch it, you didn't watch it. Okay, right. That topic goes down to the shitter. Yeah. But now with this, it's like kind of brainstorming right away. I feel like you have to like. Oh, okay, and then it's like that initial interest. If that's there, okay, and then we can start talking about it. Yeah. I feel like goals is always a great topic to talk about because everyone has goals.
And there's always something new.
There's always
even if you just set a goal recently, you could be like, okay, actually my goal was a little bit different, or like what I wanted my goal to be is different, so I reset it and I changed it to be like this parameter, and here's actually how I've changed my approach on how to get there.
Exactly.
Anything.
And I feel like a lot of people with goals is either one, they set it the bar way too high that they can't attain it, or they said it's too low that it's kind of like a daily task. And I feel like setting goals it should be in between, of course, because you want to attain it, because then it gets you going, or the moment, but also then the difficult of it. So like you don't want to make it super easy, because then be like, oh, I could do it, whatever.
Well, then you
I could do it anytime I want.
Well, if you make it too easy, then you achieve it, and then you have to spend more and more and more time brainstorming. Okay, what's the next? What's the next goal? Like you have to spend more time coming up with new goals. And if you have the medium to long term goal, I think what you said, it makes sense. Like you have to have a balance. And if you come up with a medium to long term goal, okay, then break it down. If you have this goal for the next 6 months or for a year, then what has to happen before that goal can happen, right? So like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 things, you just break it down, right? And then you can work towards those 10 little mini kind of goals.
There was a book, I forgot, it was from an army guy, and it's kind of going to go off a little bit, but more in the fact of like, this army guy said like, set goals that you could attain right away. And the reason why that he goes, and I'm just trying to go 2 different stories. One, for this one, is you could like setting up your bed, making your bed. That's goal 1. The moment you wake up, you have a task, you complete it. Boom. Now you already did one task already. Now you're on to the next. Go for a walk. Go for something that will change you to be a better person. And you do that daily. And then he's like, as you do it daily for about 7 days or so, then you start weekly goals. So I want to walk, let's just say 10 miles a week or whatever. So then 10 every day you start set up daily tasks to achieve the weekly goals, and then monthly goals, and then yearly goals. So I feel like that is a good way to do it for people who are want to start off and trying to be in a different mindset, I feel like. But then they're also like, okay, at the end of the year, or they do the reverse. They set the yearly and then they figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I think like setting the yearly and figuring out how to do it is very difficult. And for me it's very hard. Like with that working backwards way of doing it is very difficult. But I also think it's much more highly efficient, right? Because then you have the end goal clear in mind. And then if you can break it down to all these little steps, you just follow the plan. And if you suddenly decide, okay, actually the goal I wanted was different, then you just change it, and then you also change the mini goals to get to that. So yeah, short to midterm goals. It's definitely something that anyone can relate to, and it's not New Year's, but I think anybody can decide at any time, that they want to make a change in their lives or for the better, right? And change things
like
for
a
themselves.
New Year's resolution. Like, why wait for them? Do it now.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe that you should do it on New Year's.
I think it's just like a reason. It's like everyone, or it's a great way of marketing. Gyms, think about it. New Year,
gyms.
I want to go, and then to
give you
New Year resolution.
$10 off for the first 3 months. That you joined it, but only if you join in January, right? Like only if you do the New Year's.
And you do it right before January ends, and then you go for 2 weeks, and then you stop working out.
Well, hopefully not us, but yeah. Listeners, we hope you go to the gym, stay healthy.
Oh yeah, we always
especially today.
Stay healthy, eat right. Like, I think from like all the stress I gained back like probably about like 10 pounds. Like, and like probably another goal is like trying to drop back, or just look.
Well, just look good. Because it's not about the weight. Like
feel good.
If you're
feel good.
Yeah, feel good. And if you're going to the gym and you gain muscle, like the weight's gonna be, you may gain, right?
Well, also
but,
it's like constantly buying new clothes, constantly trying to find something that fit. It's like, okay, you want to go work out, okay, great, but also then you want to look good, and you cut down the weight. Now you're dropping sizes and waist size and whatever. So you're like, it's kind of like a weird balance on how you want to do it.
Yeah. The best is definitely just to try to control that diet, I think.
Whatever you feel comfortable that you'd like to be in. If you want to be a 180 cut, work all the way how you want to be 180 and cut. Yeah. If you want to be 200 and just kind of relax and don't put extra stress and there's no, okay, go for a nice little walk and kind of like that.
Yeah, whatever is your priorities. So, in terms of goals, yeah, for me, like I said, working on that blog, Far From Zero. This is actually the first time I mentioned it to Angelo too, just on the podcast, because I don't like to announce it until it's ready. But at least I think talking about it here on the podcast makes me it puts a fire under me, right? It makes me motivated to get it out, and, have it done.
Setting a goal, now you want
I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Well, also talking about it, but also from this episode, you set a goal. It's okay, I want to set this podcast from Far From Zero. Okay, now you talked about it. Now you have to set a deadline when you want to do it and when to post it.
Precisely.
I feel like there's not many besides foot golf, be a better person to my wife, myself. Be a better husband. What else? Twitch, set up this Twitch and get my gaming PC and
See, that's something I'm gonna join you on. I definitely want to be doing the gaming stuff. Problem is, folks, when you live halfway across the world, internet is not so friendly. So
internet is definitely not so friendly, but at least time is, because
that's true.
We could play early in the morning or late at night, so we do have time on our hand that we could play.
Yeah. So I mean, I think all of you listeners know pretty much that my plan is to move back to the U.S. and once I do, I think Angela and I will be able to do more content, not just for the podcast, but also streaming for video games. And likely, if Destiny is still around, maybe we'll just do Destiny. We'll definitely have other games that we can play.
Still around. I've been playing for the last couple of days, and I think I played today. I didn't have anything planned today, and I played from I don't know 11 o'clock in the morning to right before you get here.
All right, yeah. That's an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's a fun game. I think I can speak for a lot of people. It's I really enjoyed the lanes and understanding all the abilities of each character, and then you get to build your own character based on the qualities that you like. Of course, there's always going to be a meta or whatever, but for the most part, Angela and I like to just play how we like to play.
Yeah. I always play at the hunter. Now they have the new super, and it's more consumed by the darkness, so it's a little bit tricky. I'm still trying to get the figure of the story out, but it's really fun. But it also has the seasons. So as you go up into your level with ranks in the seasons, you get more stuff. So it gives you the game's all grind. So, but if you find a group of people, you're constantly talking. For raid purposes, that's 6, right? So you need at least 6 people constantly on the go.
Once you have people to play the game with, it definitely becomes less and less about having the best gear, less and less about having the best KD, whatever. I mean, look, if you're all about that, that's fine. Go to tournaments, be a professional gamer, and pwn everybody. That's fine. But for us, we just having fun, and a lot of the fun of the game is that you play with your friends and you solve, especially raids, that feeling of satisfaction of overcoming an obstacle, of completing a goal, is very very present. It's very there in the game. But aside from games, money wise, money is far from zero. In terms of fitness, I'm going back to the gym when I get back. I'm really happy.
It's opening up back there too.
Yeah. So they're doing the vaccine rollout, and luckily the gyms have not closed this time. They closed after the first wave back in April of 2020, last year. Yeah. So it was terrible because I was still paying my monthly gym membership, but I couldn't go to the gym because it was closed. So I was okay, this is not right. So I just quit my gym membership, and I didn't go for a year because they always require masks, and you can only be there for an hour, and I typically work out for longer than an hour, so I just didn't even feel dealing with it, and I could save a little bit of money if I didn't go. So
but yeah, I feel with the goals we hit home exactly. But I feel with people, if you're listening, thank you for listening. Thank you for waiting. I know that's a long time that we got back into talking about this. But setting goals is always a good way to change your mindset. I feel for this podcast, for your life, for gaming, video gaming, being a better person, setting goals, mindset. I feel those are the main 2 things. For me, for the rest of this year, I'm definitely focusing more on my work
my actual like career job, because I know that I'm getting a lot more responsibility and I'm getting a lot more tasks, and you know I respect that my team lead and that my managers want me to take on these more difficult tasks, and of course with that comes promotions, right? Yeah, and with more responsibility, you get more promotions. It's good. It's good for the career, and so yeah, for me it's career, it's the blog, side business, and like you, being a better husband for my wife. And listeners, I'm glad you guys were so patient with both of us, most specifically Angelo, because he was really stressed preparing for the wedding. Like this whole month definitely was difficult, but now that it's over, he can worry about other things that stress him out. So thanks again, all of you, for always listening to our podcasts, and if you ever have any ideas of what you want us to talk about, we're always coming up with whatever. Every episode, you guys know, we try not to cover the same things twice, but if we do, it's obviously something that we're passionate about and we love talking about, and that's why we're always talking about it with you guys. So you can reach us at tradingbrainspodcast@gmail.com. As always, on social media, Trading Brains, you'll be able to find us there. And yeah, I think that's about it for this episode.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Hopefully when you get back, we'll figure out another episode, another topic, so we'll figure that out. Thank you so much for your support, and continuing to give us a like, subscribe us, keep us updated, or an email, just a quick shout out, just seeing what you want us to do.
Yeah, we definitely love getting feedback. Like I shared it with a friend's father, and he said like, oh yeah, I love listening to this kind of podcast, and I think you guys kind of sound like this, or how it is. So we love getting the feedback and understanding how we can provide better entertainment. If this is something you guys listen to while getting ready for bed, brushing teeth, in the shower, doing laundry, whatever, that's what we want, right?
And also, like, we're always looking for help for promotion and trying to help us out to grow. If you're into the field of marketing, and you want to have a nice little fun project with two people that are really incompetent with marketing, so it'd be a great resume booster, and plus it gets you like a community of people trying to figure out what to talk about and how to grow as an individual, as a team too. But before we start rambling on about something else, and
we're getting a little rambly. So thanks again, everyone. That's the end of the episode. We'll see you again next time.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, everyone.